What's up, everybody? XYZ back at it again. Right now I'm talking to you from an undisclosed location deep under the earth, where I'm getting ready to start a secret project that I've had in the works for quite some time now. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to guess exactly what it is I'm building. I'll show you bits and pieces of building it. I'm not quite sure how much of it I'll do on camera, but I definitely want to do enough that you guys can get a clue and try to guess what it is. I really don't think anyone will hit the nail on the head. I think some people will get pretty close, but I would be very surprised if someone got 100% of the answer correct. So let's go ahead and start building this thing, and you guys can try to guess what it is down in the comments here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put down a sticky piston here. You could use a regular piston and some sand, but this is just to give you a very short pulse so that I can make a T flip-flop here. As you can see, there we go. Get a very short pulse, and the redstone block switches position each time I push the button here, and that's exactly what we want to see. And I'm just going to extend this out with a couple of slime blocks so that I can have more than one redstone block as my output from this T flip-flop. And that's because I'm going to have to take output from this from a few different places. The first place being right up here. I think the first one needs to go like this with a repeater. And I can't remember how many ticks that'll be. I'll have to come back and check. And then this one can come out with just a redstone dust, and it's going to go into a torch over here. See if I can get that on there correctly. Yeah, there we go. And the other side will go just up into... I don't want to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what it'll go into. Alright, now for this next one, it's going to be a falling edge monostable. So I need one repeater on 3 ticks there, and a repeater on 2 ticks there. I want to lay down some diorite so that I know where my redstone is, so that if I'm ever digging around down here, I could see that polished diorite and not dig up all of these repeaters and everything and have to ruin my mechanism down here. Alright, so now that'll give us a pulse when we go from this end to this end. So when it gets turned off like that, you'll get a pulse into this block right here. So I want that torch coming off right there. I'm going to go in kind of a zigzag pattern, and that's to feed it into another block with a torch on it, actually. Alright, so there the torch just gets shut off like normal, and there we get a pulse, and then it gets turned on, which is exactly what we want to see there. So next thing I'm going to have to do is come out here and put down a few blocks in this direction, and we'll put some diorite down there, and this will be redstone. And let me put a torch back just so I can see while I'm working down here. And I might have to go back and get some more redstone repeaters. I think I need 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. Put down a block right at the end of those repeaters with a piece of redstone dust on top, and then a block, then a redstone torch, block here, piece of dye right there, with a repeater just like so on 2 ticks. And let me get up here somehow really quick here. Just make myself some stairs there. Get myself some light. And let's go up one more block here just while I'm working. Alright, so put down a block on top of that repeater. And this will extend the off pulse by 2 ticks. And I need another row of stuff coming up just like this, going across, and that will have a piece of redstone dust here. Wait a second here. Okay, I need to use a half slab so that that bottom piece of redstone does not actually turn into a corner piece or a line piece. So then I need one more repeater there, and one more there with 1 tick, so 2 and 1. And just to kind of finish off this section here, I need a block coming up like that, with a piece of redstone dust going out of it. And then I need some blocks going above those repeaters there. Let me jump back on top of all this. Right on top of those repeaters, and then one over here. And just like that. There we go. Alright, now the next step is to wire up these two outputs here. They actually function completely the same, but they're wired up quite differently for a very specific reason. So now I have 3 ticks of delay going into a torch, and here I have a torch going into 3 ticks of delay, so we end up with the same result. It's just inverted with an extra 3 ticks of delay. And here's where things get pretty interesting, and some of you might start to get a clue as to what's going on. So this torch actually needs to be over here. And then I'm going to run some redstone just going along this kind of zigzag pattern over here. And that'll give me 0 ticks coming off of that torch. And then I need a bunch of repeaters. This will be 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3, 4. Then we get 5, 6, 7. You get the idea here. Actually no, in order to make this symmetrical, which is not symmetrical right now, I need to take off this repeater there, put down a piece of redstone dust, and then I need the repeater coming out of this block here. There we go, and it should still be on 3 ticks of delay there. So now that I have that corrected, I can just do the same pattern as I did on the other side. Now I just need to put a block on the front of each one of those repeaters with a torch on top. There we go, and let's just give it one more whirl just to see what that looks like with the torches on top. I'll have to stop in next episode and show you guys a little bit more of this project. Maybe we'll finish it, and I would predict maybe 2 more episodes. So I'll give you like 2 episodes worth of guessing, and then on the 3rd episode I'll reveal what it is. Just be sure to tell me what you guys think this is down in the comments, and let me know if you'd like me to drop any kind of clues. I really don't want to reveal what it is until the end, so I think you'll have a tough time getting any kind of good clues out of me. Well, anyway, let's get started on my next project, shall we? Alright, back at my base here. I guess I should show you guys I've done a little bit of upgrading. I added some carpet, changed the walls around a tiny bit, and made the ceiling look a little bit more sleek. I like the way it looks, and I changed these paths down here leading into the doors, so they have grass going right up into the stairs. That's actually where we're going to start this next project. I'm going to build a nice looking stairwell down to here, and we're going to have an animal farm down here with sheep and chickens and cows and mushrooms. So let's get started on the stairwell here first. First thing I want to do is change these walls into something a little nicer. How about birch? That's a little better. Next thing I want to do is make the ceiling into smooth sandstone. Okay, now I'm going to need some light without those torches there. Alright, that's a stairwell alright, but these walls are just upsettingly boring. I think I know just the trick. And for the grand finale, I just need to place some blocks here on the stairs. And then I can put my water buckets in the little inlets that I've created on the sides with the lights inside. Here and here. And now I can go ahead and remove those blocks in the middle, and the water will not flow out. That looks really nice. I can hide the light behind the water, and actually it looks pretty great. Now to begin the inside of the room, let's make a nice looking entrance here. And now for the floor, let's get some grass up in here. There we go, and I'm probably going to need a place to store all of my animal products. Nice. Now I just need a nice looking ceiling too. Sweet. Now I'm ready to start installing the animal pens. Let's start with the sheep farm. I'll get the foundation laid out so I can show you how it works. So basically, the sheep will be up here on these grass platforms with some nice looking walls surrounding them to keep them in. And when you come over here and hit the button, you'll get a nice long extension through these comparators. Of course, grass will be above them, and that goes into a repeater that feeds into a line that goes right past this butted piston on a half slab so that it doesn't actually power the piston. Just updates it there, as you can see when the line turns on and then off again. And that will turn on the dispensers that are powered behind this glowstone here long enough so that the water can wash all of the wool all the way down and into the hoppers to be collected. Also, it's important to note that I have used the glowstone back here and left a bunch of extra grass, and I will also use stairs as the bottom part of the walls because the transparent blocks and the light allow the grass to spread to completely replace the ones that the sheep eat. So they always have a fresh supply of grass to eat so they can replace their wool. The last step is to fill in all the walls to make it look nice and of course drop some sheep inside. Well, that took a lot longer than I care to admit to get all the different colors, because I had to go to the jungle to get some cocoa beans for the brown sheep, and I figured I might as well get the mushrooms while I was out. Wee! 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 Oh no. And I also had to breed all the sheep and push them in through a hole in the ceiling. But anyway, let's move on to the chicken farm, shall we? Alright now, this is a very basic setup with 2 hoppers going into a dispenser here that's 1 block above these 2 hoppers here. So if I put some half slabs there and some water here and here, the baby chickens will hatch into this half block of space, and they will not drown until they grow up to be adult chickens, and then the chicken, the feathers and everything will be collected down here in this chest. If we hop around back here really quick, you can see the comparator clock that I have set up. It's extremely simple. The comparator detects how many items are inside of the dispenser. Once it finds there are enough items, it will light up 2 pieces of redstone dust on that side, which will turn it off until too few items are there to light up both pieces of dust. And that will cause the dispenser to fire repeatedly until all of those items get spit out of the front. So now if we hop up here a couple blocks, I can show you. This is where the top hoppers come out, and I can put some carpet there so the chickens do not get stuck inside of the hoppers there. And sometimes when you relog in, they'll actually be inside the hopper block itself, so their eggs will not be collected. They'll just kind of get stuck inside the system. So I'm going to go ahead and hatch out some chickens. I got 2 stacks here that I painstakingly collected over in the swamp biome next to my base. Let's see how many I can get. Nice. Already got a pretty good start here. They'll take 20 minutes to grow up, and after they grow up, they'll take 20 minutes to start hatching their own eggs. I'll probably use some seeds to breed them so I can have more chickens more quickly. So we're getting pretty close to finishing up here. I'm going to go ahead and build 2 of my very own cow breeder and cookers. And here they are. The one on the left is already finished. I'll just pop back here so I can show you how to hook up the one on the right. If you hit this button here, you get some water so the mobs will bounce up and down so you can breed them easily. If you hit this button, it will make a pulse extend into this repeater here, which will be on 1 extra tick of delay there. And we'll put a coal block here with a piston so that when you hit the button, there is a delay, which gives you just enough time for that coal block to light on fire, which will catch the mobs on fire. They'll be crushed until they're just about to die. The crusher retracts, and then they actually die from fire damage, so you get all of the cooked items instead of just the raw ones. Let's quickly just seal this up so no mobs spawn back here. And then I can drop the cows and the mushrooms in through a hole in the ceiling here. Just a couple quick finishing touches before I'm finished. I'm just going to pop over here and put a couple blocks here and here. Redstone dust there, upward facing dropper right there in the corner. Then a hopper facing into that, and put a button down. So now every time I want to shear my sheep, I can just come over here, hit the button, do my business, toss it back, and it's just a really convenient way to store my shears. And now I want to do the same thing for the wheat, but I want to get more than 1 piece of wheat every time I hit the button. So what I'm going to do is put my upward facing dropper here under where the grass was. And then I'm going to put a hopper going into that, hopper going into that, and so on. And then I'll put my button right here, and I'll pop around behind here so I can put down a torch on top. Looks like I already did that. So then I'm going to put down a block here and here, put down my redstone dust there and there, and then I'm going to put a torch underneath each one of these so that I get a nice burnout clock going. And I'm going to use 2 of them so that it's a stable burnout clock and it doesn't burn all the way out, so it will actually continue pulsing until the button comes back on. So as you can see, you will get exactly 8 pulses there. So now when I throw my wheat inside of this hopper here, just wait a few seconds for it to fill up, and then I hit my button. I'll get exactly 8 pieces of wheat for me to breed my mushrooms and my cows. And just for fun, I hooked up this water stream to the hopper going into that dropper. So if I feel like being lazy when I'm refilling it, I can just come over to here to the stairs and toss that in there, and it'll make its way all the way down into that dropper. Well, now that I'm completely finished with it, I might as well give you guys a demo. Let's run over here, grab our shears, and shear some sheep. As you can see, it takes a bit of work to get all of them at once, but you just take a pass and you should get a random selection of them each time, so the numbers will kind of even out. Then you just hit the button here, all of the drops will get swept down into the middle, as you can see, and you can always get a couple extra at the end here. And then just throw your shears back there, and the water will turn off automatically. All the items will get collected right here in this chest. So, oh, their chicken just died over here. Let's see how much chicken I have right now. 41, not bad. I've only had it going for, I don't know, about an hour. So let's come over here, get some wheat. Let's get 16 this time. So now I'm going to head over to the mushrooms, turn on the water, breed them a little bit. And I've figured out if you aim in just the right spot, you'll breed the adults without wasting your weed on the small ones. If you accidentally click them, they'll get green particles, and then they'll grow a little bit faster. It takes a full stack to actually make them turn into an adult immediately. Alright, let's breed our cows here really quick. Turn that water off. And actually really quickly here, I want to grab my shears again and run back here so I can show you guys. You can actually get mushrooms off the mushrooms too. Since they bounce up and down, you can easily get all of them. Sometimes there's one or two that are kind of hard to get, but it shouldn't be too difficult to get all of them. And then, of course, once you kill them, all the little babies will be left, so you'll be left with only mushrooms. And this design also works for sheep, so I might change out the left side for sheep later on if I need a lot of wool all at once. Probably for something like banners, but I can get a lot of steak, leather, and even mushrooms out of this design. It's pretty awesome. It's nice to finally have this done. Maybe I can eat something other than potatoes all the time now. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. Hope you really enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe, but be sure to leave me a comment to tell me what you think the secret project is. I'll be working on it a little bit more next episode. Be sure to tell me what you guys think I should work on next. I'm thinking either a witch farm or a blaze grinder. Well, see you next time.